streaming live. Thanks for tuning in to the Real Guy Podcast. This is Captain Jeff. I got a special guest here tonight. I got Jared Outlaw. If you guys don't know Jared Outlaw, where the hell you been? It's his birthday.
Thank y'all very much.
Now, because it's Jared's birthday,
I'm 18 years old. Cheers, everybody. Yeah.
I brought him some stuff. I got him a longer dog hat.
Oh, hell. Phew.
I also got him in Hog Leg We Trust, the shirt.
Oh, yeah.
Then I got him one of these sun shirts because it's going to be hot this summer.
It sure is. Yep.
And then he brought a great, beautiful lady with him, so I brought her one too.
Hey, man, there you go.
So happy birthday. Happy birthday, Jared.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you.
Facebook Live, guys?
Appreciate it, man. Thank you. Yeah.
Very good.
Jeff, it's live, right?
Yeah, we're live.
Yeah, we're live.
We're live. That's live.
We live right now?
Yeah.
We're live. We're live.
So anyway, not only is this Jared's birthday, but Jared has hit a milestone. Jared's hit a milestone in the YouTube atmosphere with 1 million subscribers. Congratulations, Jared.
Thank you, Jeff.
Right? 1 million subscribers.
Thank you.
No, that's a big deal. I mean, when you're a YouTuber, like, and you're doing YouTube,
Yep.
I mean, that's your goal. You want to get 1 million subscribers, and it ain't easy.
No.
I mean, like when I met Jared, what was that, 4 or 5 years ago?
Yeah, 4 or 5 years ago, yeah.
You know, Jared reached out, and he's really into sporting. He's into hunting, he's into fishing, he's into dipping. Guy's a big dipper. But he reached out, he wanted to catch a big tarpon, and I looked at his YouTube channel, and I was like, man, that's a real guy.
Yeah.
And he came down here, and we got him on his big tarpon. We had a good time.
Yep.
And ever since then, we've been friends. So, from the bottom of my heart, I think that's phenomenal that you hit 1 million subscribers.
For sure.
And I'm really proud of you. I gotta tell
I
you.
appreciate it, man.
Yeah? It's a big
Thanks
deal.
to you, buddy. Thanks to you. Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
right.
Hey, it was that tarpon. It was that good luck.
Anyway,
Cheers.
cheers.
Appreciate it. And thank you, everybody that came tonight.
Yeah.
It's good. This is a cool spot.
You like the spot?
I like it. Right here in Lauderdale.
Now,
Very cool spot. I like it.
You know how I got to the left of you there?
Who is this?
That's the shepherd. That's Stephen Busaka.
Busaka.
Right. Stephen Busaka. He's
Is
like
that your real name?
Yeah. Well,
Busaka?
Last name.
Busaka.
Is
You
that
sound
how-
like you should be in Dragon Ball Z or something.
Right?
Yeah.
Like Goku or something like that.
Dude.
Is that
Busaka.
how? Is that how hillbilly says Busaka like that?
He says it's pretty good
Busaka.
for hillbilly, doesn't he?
You got to get close to the mic. I want him to make sure they hear you.
Yeah, yeah.
Busaka.
Can you hear me all right? How about
yeah,
that?
oh, yeah, I
We
hear
good?
you good.
All
There
right.
you go.
All right.
So where are you from? Busaka.
Dania Beach, Florida, my man.
Is that where you're born and raised?
Born and raised.
All right.
There's
Floridian.
like 6 white dudes that were born and raised in Dania Beach, Florida.
Okay.
Busaka's one of them.
And probably one Italian, and that was me.
Right. If
Your
you,
whole family Italian.
Every one of them.
if you don't say Busaka hillbilly style, it's really Italian. Like,
Yeah.
hey, Busaka.
You gotta say Busaka.
Busaka, like New Jersey.
Busaka.
New
Yeah,
Jersey
yeah.
Italian.
Boston.
Boston Italian. Busaka. But
I think that was why Jeff and I got along so well, because he's Sicilian, I'm Sicilian, so that was kind of how we built
Yeah.
our friendship, basically.
Straight out of Sicily.
Yep.
That's your new shirt. Straight out
Straight
of
out of
Sicily.
Sicily. We should
Yeah.
do that.
My kid got the real Ginzo shirt, and it says like the college shirt, and it says "What's the matter? You."
Hey, what's the matter with you?
Right. That's
So did you guys like, were you big Sopranos fans?
not me.
Did you
My
watch
dad
it though?
is.
No, I mean I'm more about like bragging about meatballs,
Yeah.
sauce, and
No, we're more into The Godfather, you and I.
The Godfather?
Godfather.
Yeah. So the Sopranos wasn't really doing it.
My dad loved The Sopranos. I never really got into it.
Yeah.
Jared, do you know who George Paparomo is?
No.
George Paparomo is like in the saltwater. He's been with like saltwater sports and he's had a TV show forever or whatever.
Okay.
And, you know, Paparomo, he's Italian. So Busaka and I were at a fishing club meeting the other night, and he's hanging out with George Paparomo, and let's just say they were trying to out-Italian one another.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of
So,
embarrassing.
hey!
We had an
just going
Italian
off on
off,
each other or what?
basically. An Italian off.
Italian
Well,
off.
they were like, they were
I
trying to.
would not want to be in the middle of that.
No.
Well, you know, and like my name's Maggio, so like people think like I'm gonna join in that.
Right.
It's like no.
No.
But we did take
I'm
a
better
picture
than that.
together, all three of us.
Well, yeah. Now we got to make history. I mean, we're
Exactly.
So
gonna,
what were they doing? Like to the Italian off? What were they doing?
So
Throwing meatballs at each other? What was it? What was it? What was
So
the
basically,
deal?
an Italian office, you always start by asking what part of Italy is your family from.
Okay.
And that's how we kind of started. Like
So what's like the badass place for the Italian
Well,
barbecue?
Sicily.
No.
Sicily's like it.
Sicily,
No.
hands down.
It's different.
Okay.
It's different. If you're brown-eyed, brown-haired, like Lusaka,
Right.
then it's Sicily.
Okay. If it's you,
But no, not me. I'm not-
he's Sicilian
I'm not-
too.
okay.
I'm half redneck.
I know.
You're
but
half redneck.
Your dad's Sicilian, so most
Right,
is
my dad's
Sicilian.
Sicilian.
Where's your mom from?
She's from South Georgia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I'm like I don't even get
Dude,
get in like who's
you're like me, dude.
I don't even get into who's more Italian.
Yeah, we don't even get a.
Now
yeah.
George is like blue-eyed Italian.
Right.
You know, from like Rome,
Yeah, northern Italy. I think he said Napoli.
Napoli.
I think so. It was northern Italy. But
Okay.
usually there's a whole thing with the southern Italians and the northern Italians where
Right.
they both kind of go like, oh, to each other when they hear that.
Like Northern Ireland and Southern Ireland. It's like Dublin and Northern Ireland. It's like,
Exactly.
oh, you're from Northern Ireland. Well, I'm from fucking Belfast. Oh, can we cuss on here? Apologies.
You can curse. We put an express.
Yeah. It's like, oh, I'm
Oh,
from
this one we
fucking
can't
Belfast.
curse.
He's
Okay.
like, what are you doing? You're a fucking leprechaun. Yeah,
So anyway, that's
I get it.
That's Busaka.
I wouldn't want to be in that.
No, you got to stay out of
Oh,
it.
I think you would have enjoyed that.
Dude, he's
I would have enjoyed to watch for sure.
I think you would have enjoyed that.
Yeah.
What is your background anyway? Is it
My
Irish?
I am Scotch-Irish.
Okay.
I have got a lot of Scot in me. I feel like I got blonde hair, blue eyes, so I feel like there's some
You look
German. in
German.
there.
He looks
But-
like Lambricks kind of.
Yeah, but most of it's Scotch-Irish, most of it's Scottish.
I bet you didn't know, Busaka, that Jared's a Florida boy.
I am.
Really?
I am a Florida boy,
I
born and
thought you
raised.
were born and raised in Denver. Okay, what part of Florida?
Gulf Coast.
He's a
Sarasota.
He's a West Coaster.
West Coast.
Yeah.
All right.
No, but
Sarasota.
Now I heard you're a big hunter.
I am.
So I was scrolling through some of your hunting videos, and I didn't see no hog hunting in there.
Oh, there's plenty of hog hunting in there. Most of it's at night. We do a lot of thermal hog hunting.
Dude, my dad and I bow hunted for hogs for about 12, 15 years.
Did?
We did.
Down in Texas, where at?
No, right in freaking by Lake Okeechobee.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, like
Down
on
in
the
Florida.
Lexland. We used to.
They're
we lived for
everywhere
15
down here
years.
too.
You see, you didn't know that.
Dude, I don't.
Have you ever been hunting?
I've been hunting, but like,
Have
yeah, I've been hunting. I mounted a duck one time.
You mounted a duck?
You went duck hunting.
A wood
What
duck?
kind of duck was it?
I haven't even shot a wood duck.
Dude, I shot a wood duck when I was like 11
Wow.
with my uncle Benji from South Georgia. Unlike you, Busaka.
Benji? Listen, I got family in North Carolina. I don't know if I ever told you. I got family up in the
Dude, I don't want to get
hills
a
of North
southern off right
Carolina.
now.
See, here we
Now
go.
we're having a
Y'all,
southern
I
off.
got people from Alabama. I got people from Mississippi. Dude, my grandma's from Jackson.
Seriously, I shot a trophy wood duck when I was like 11. Wow. And then my uncle Benji, who also taught me how to fish, or was one of the people who taught me how to fish, mounted that wood duck, and then I sported the piss out of that thing. It was on my wall for like 25 years.
You ever take it to school, show and tell?
You sported it until you caught that bonefish, and then that replaced the wood duck.
No, I got termed.
You got termed?
Years ago, when you got a wood duck stuffed and you put it on the wall, the inside of it they made out of balsam wood.
Right.
Yep.
Termites love balsam wood.
Yep.
So I'm looking at my wood duck, and it's like getting powdery. And then what happened was the termites were inside my wood duck, and I had to get rid of it. So anyway, that's my hunting.
That's how it was back in the day.
Right.
That's how it was back in the day. Yep. And some taxidermists will still do that now.
They use balsam
I
stuff.
had it done to a deer of mine in Texas years ago.
Did they get termited?
No, because there wasn't a lot in Colorado, but you could just tell by the way it was done that the skin started to, to boil up and stuff like that in the sun. Yeah, it started to wear real bad.
So when you do the hog hunting, though, what do you use, gun or bow?
Both. Now, most of the time we use guns because I'll go out with farmers and stuff that'll like say, hey, you guys got to come out here. We'll bring thermals. We'll bring thermals out there and we'll use, IR defense, silencers, stuff like that.
Dude.
And we'll go out for a whole night. We'll jump from farm to farm to farm to farm and probably kill 100 dogs.
I'm thinking that he and I might have to do a hog hunting video together.
We
We
might.
might have to do that.
I have not done anywhere else besides Texas. I haven't even done.
Oh, you haven't done Florida?
I haven't done Florida yet.
You have to do Florida. I'm telling you, there's so many hogs over there.
Now, have you done helicopter hog hunting?
No, that's like a whole nother level, dude.
That's a whole nother level.
big
That's
in
Texas, right?
That's Texas.
That's big in Texas.
Yeah, you
I don't know if they might do it in Florida.
No.
Somewhere. No?
I don't think they're allowed to.
No?
I don't think they're allowed to.
Texas,
but Texas,
they
they
for sure
do.
do.
Dude, speaking of Texas, Jim Hayes just left.
I just got back.
Do you know who Jim Hayes is?
I don't know.
All right. So
Who's Jim Hayes?
I'm going to tell you a story. You want to hear a story?
Yeah, I want to hear something.
This soccer, you got to listen.
To what? A
A
stir?
story. I'm going to tell you a
Story,
story.
dude. Freaking Sicilian? Jeez.
So, I forgot what I was going to tell a story about.
Jim
Hayes.
Howard.
Jim
Hayes.
So anyway, I think it was 14 years ago, I get a call, and they want me to do a TV show with Bill Dance.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So I'm like, yeah, dude, I'll fish with Bill Dance. I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, do a TV. you know,
Freaking
be
Bill
on-
Dance, man. The biggest dude in fishing ever.
Right. So,
Besides Jeff Maggio, of course.
oh yeah, really goes in face. so,
Right.
so guy calls me up. Hey, it's Bill Dance. I want to come down there and do a fishing show with y'all. You know, we're doing saltwater series now. So I'm like, I'm thinking it's like a friend of mine, like pulling my leg or something.
Right.
But it was Bill Dance.
Yeah.
So Bill Dance comes down here, and we go out fishing and everything. And was I telling the story about it again?
Jim Howard.
Jim Hayes.
Jim Hayes.
So Jim
Hayes.
Hayes.
I don't know why I say Howard.
So anyway, back then when you got on TV, at the end of it, they'd be like Captain Jeff, and then they'd have your phone number.
Right.
And if you went by your phone at that time,
Right.
you would miss all the calls. It's not like
Yeah,
now
yeah.
where you get emails and the guy
Yeah.
would text you. And
Yeah, you gotta wait.
So you get like 30 or 40 calls at one time.
Right.
Jim Hayes was the first dude that ever called me from when I was on TV.
Okay.
So I book him, and I book about 30 dudes in a row.
Right.
So Jim Hayes shows up, and I'm at the parking lot in Bass Pro Shop.
Right.
And Jim Hayes pulls up, and he's a black dude
Right.
with 3 of his black friends. And he puts his head out the window, and he says, Captain Jeff, you way uglier live than you was on TV. And I'm thinking to myself, I just booked 30 of these dudes.
Right.
I'm like, what did I get myself into?
Right.
In the meantime, Jim Hayes has fished with me for 14 years in a row, over 100 trips. And at 80 years old, the guy's damn near a tarpon expert.
Oh my
Is
God.
he 80?
Still, to this day?
To this dude, I had him out last week.
Wow.
He booked 5 days out of the 9 days of his here, and the old man goes 15 for 25 and gets like 4 fish over 100 and one like 180.
Wow.
You think I don't know something about Texas? I
Dude.
take out Jim Hayes.
That's
from
insane.
Texas.
That's insane. That's a guide right there. Proud of his client. That's insane.
And that's how about Jim Hayes, and that's a fisherman right there.
Yeah. Dude,
from Texas.
that's insane. How many years?
He's been fishing me like this has been 14 years.
He's caught
smokes.
everything with you too. Snook, tarpon. He got a permit with you too, right?
He mounted a snook that was 38 pounds.
38 pounds.
Those West Coasters, like where you grew up,
Yep.
and the people you hang out with, they'd be happy with a 38-incher. Now, me,
Inches. They go by inches.
Right.
That's what I learned. That's
West
what I
Co-
learned with
West
Jeff.
Coast
Jeff.
is inches.
Right.
Yep.
West Coast is inches.
That's what I came with. The first time I snook fished with Jeff, we were on this seawall. And I'm like, dang, dude, that's a 40-incher. He goes, 40 inches? What are you talking about? It's all about
It's
the
30
weight.
pounds.
He goes, you freaking bass fish, and you say it's this, that, and the other. Why are you saying it's inches? And I'm like, you're right. I don't know why.
you wouldn't believe it. There's a guy in the audience tonight named John Tedder
Okay.
who was catching lunker snooks when I was figuring out how to throw a cast net.
Yeah.
And I'd ride my bike around, and I'd be like, that guy's getting 30-pounders. Not 30 inches. Like, you had to, like, do 30 pounds. Now they're like, oh, you're in the 40-inch club? I'm like, 40-inch club? That's for people like Musad getting the West Coasters.
Guys, listen. Hey, I fished with Jeff last year, and we're tarpon fishing. And the day before, I had just hit the 40-inch club, right? On this bridge, I'm freaking, the tide just changed, I'm dying. I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know. I put my freaking hog leg out there just seeing if I get a bite. 40-incher finally comes, I'm reeling him in, I get him in, I'm like, yeah, but the 40-inch club, right? Next day I go fish with Jeff, he's like, 40 inches, well, how much should it weigh? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know.
Take a guess.
I just took a guess, I don't know.
Dude,
Jeff.
Dude,
Jeff made it feel like I was 5 pounds.
dude,
Jeff
that's-
made it feel like it was 5 pounds.
I'm gonna
Let me tell you something. He has a tendency to do that. I talked to him on the phone a few weeks ago, and he said to me, he goes, "We got a big snook last night," so I'm expecting him to tell me it was like almost 50 inches or something
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
He goes, "Yeah, it was about 35," and I was like, 35 inches? And I was like, "Oh, so he does consider that a big snook."
Right.
Okay, we're good. So I thought you said that bar a little high. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm gonna chalk it up to like an age millennial thing.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, here
I
we
taught
go.
him that term.
Yeah,
Here we
gotta-
go.
you
I
gotta-
taught him that term. I should have never done it.
Yeah. You screwed up.
I did. I regret it.
You millennials, all you guys get a trophy. Right?
Yep.
You show up, you catch a 40-inch snook, you get the trophy.
That's true. It's true.
Wait, how
It's not-
old are you?
It's not your fault. It's culture.
That's right.
It's not your fault.
Wait, Jared, how old are you?
I'm 28 today.
Oh no, so yeah, he's a millennial like me.
Exactly.
Yeah, we're in the
I
same
found
club.
out. I thought millennials were like the ones being born right now.
No, that's
Millennials-
Generation Z.
Yeah, but millennials go back to 83, I think
Yeah.
it is. 82,
83 or 80, yeah.
It's crazy.
You guys do know the difference between being a millennial and being old school?
What's that?
If you're old school, that means you're around before the term old school came out.
That's true.
So when did
Probably
that
true.
term come out?
I think I made it up when I was talking about John Tennant.
Oh, gee.
Like, hey, that guy's old school.
And he put that on his Facebook too. He has it on their old school fisherman. He does.
Jared, let me ask you a question, because I mean, being the YouTuber that you are, you go all around the world, and you're doing sporting stuff, turkey hunting,
Yep.
hog hunting. I was listening to one of your podcasts. You're riding a bull,
Yep.
Bone fishing.
bone fishing,
Bone fishing, yep.
and dude, that's some hardcore stuff.
Yeah.
What I want to know is, where do you rate tarpon fishing? Not tarpon fishing the sport, but tarpon fishing in Fort Lauderdale to all those other things that you've done over the years.
There's with like I literally go, I do all that stuff. I want to experience everything. So when it's whether it be bull riding, bone fishing, or hog hunting, or deer hunting and stuff like that, there's a special place in my heart for each little thing.
Right.
But when I think of tarpon fishing, I literally think of this area. Strictly because you know, me being a YouTuber and stuff like that and seeing where, you know, I've been on YouTube almost as long as you have, probably about the same time.
About the same time, I think.
Almost when YouTube started.
Right.
And you were the only saltwater guy really on YouTube, right?
Pretty much.
So when I'm thinking of like saltwater stuff and things like that, that's when I hit you up when I came down here. And I was surprised to see, oh yeah, he wants to fish, let's do it. That's when I caught my first big tarpon. It was a 100-pounder.
Right.
And I was like, and so now, thinking about, when I think of tarpon fishing, I think it's a hard fishery. You know you're gonna get a fight 100%. And it's just a special fish. Like,
But last night you were tarpon fishing in the
last
Keys.
night I was tarpon fishing in the
And
Keys.
you got them.
And I got them.
Did you have any water taxi problems?
No, because this is the thing. In Lauderdale, it's not. We were out in the Keys. We were 2 miles offshore.
So I just want official for the record. In the Keys last night, you had no water taxi problems while you were
No
tarpon
water
fishing.
taxi problems. There was nobody around us. We were crazy to even be out there in those 5-6 footers.
It was windy, huh?
And yeah, it was super windy, super rough weather out here. But in Lauderdale, we got taxi problems. And I've got this. This is the first time I ever fished with Jeff. I've got a 100-pounder on, fighting him for about 40 minutes at this point. And a water taxi starts to go right over the goddamn line in the intercoastal. And that's when Jeff just goes, I think I still hear your voice. He's like, hey, go around, please. And he goes, you can't be fishing here. Don't fish in the intercoastal. And then he just blows.
Oh, you must have lost it.
He lost
The
it.
water taxi captain was antagonizing me.
Yep.
He was.
Big
I was
mistake. Big mistake.
Now, mind you, I'm sweating already. It's raining.
How
It
long?
is-
was your fight?
It's probably about an hour.
Yeah.
The first one was about an hour. Last year was even longer. It's a little bit bigger.
Physically last year, I don't think you were up to par. Did you have some sort of respiratory issue or something?
Yeah, dude, I was sweating.
Yeah.
You saw the video. My shirt was brown to begin with, and it was black at the end.
So this we take out Jared, and he hooks onto a nice fish.
Is this the first one or this
This
last
is
year?
the second time.
Yeah, this is, and well, yeah, the first year it was like raining all day. We just weren't hit. And then out of nowhere, last light, get hit. Last year, we were on the beach, right off the jetty.
Yeah, we got it during the day and everything.
Yep.
Like gentlemen.
Like
Yeah,
gentlemen.
Right, like gentlemen.
Yep.
But he didn't know it. I didn't know it. Mom didn't know it. But Jared was having a respiratory infection. And he's fighting this fish. And he's like getting dizzy and shit.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, we were a little nervous about him. I'm like,
At this point, I had the couple days before, I was shark fishing on the beach. I was snook fishing, and every time I was fighting a fish, I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm doing, but I was smelling something weird. It was like I was smelling infection.
That's like what happened with me last year, remember? When I couldn't freaking fish?
you got red tide.
He thinks I got red. Anyway, go on, Jared.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Hey, you go down there and you fish during the red tide and it messes you up?
Yep.
Like you can't breathe and stuff?
Yeah.
Oh boy, I got red tide.
Yeah. That's what I thought I was getting, but it was actually a lot worse than that. I didn't know until about a week after the fact, but I was dying. Like I was probably 40 minutes in, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't even know if I can do this anymore. I'm weak. I'm smelling something nasty. I'm like, I didn't know what it was. And eventually we got the fish. I mean, how many times did it belly up? 6, 7 times?
They had stubborn fish. And,
Mine was stubborn, remember that?
well, I got news for you guys. These tarpon that are over 100 pounds are stubborn some bitches.
They sure are.
Yeah?
I mean, we caught one. My old lady caught one last night, 150 pounder. It was probably bigger than the one that I caught. And we fought that thing forever in rough seas, and she held on to the rod the whole day time. I was so proud of her. And at me thinking back to where I was, like health-wise, I was like, there's no way I could have done it.
Now, and all the stuff that I've seen you do, and then I'm listening to the podcasts that you're doing, I'm thinking riding the bull was probably the closest to catching a 100-pounder.
It probably is. And the reason why is when I was riding that bull, it was West Texas,
Right.
120 degrees. I mean, I can't even get enough water in my system to stay hydrated. It was like insane. And he put me on a small bull. Well, it's not even a small bull. It's actually a bigger bull.
Right.
You know, 1,200-pound bull.
That was probably one of the smaller ones, probably, right?
No, it's not even smaller, but it's one of the bigger ones, but it's more like a cow. It's more like you're riding a cow. It's not much muscle on it, it's a lot of fat.
So it wasn't like the bull that you see in the PBR?
No, the second bull was. The second bull is the one that I had to get hydrated, and the sun was going down, it was a little bit cooler, and then I could have, but I lasted about 1 second.
I'm thinking about you on the bull, and then my only experience with bull riding is I did a show with Peter Miller, and the guest was a professional bull rider.
That's
Right.
right.
So after the show, we go down here to Mississippi and we watch the PBR.
Right.
And me and my kid, my wife, and Peter and his kid, we're all watching these bulls, and I'm thinking about it, and then I'm listening to your podcast, and I'm like, he was on one of those?
Yep.
That's
And I almost did it at an event. So we almost did it at an event in front of a crowd of people. I wanted to do it in front of a crowd of people. And the reason why we didn't is because the event got canceled or something like that. Something was happening to rain or something like that. And I'm glad I didn't, because I would have made a fool of myself. I made a fool of myself already on video,
How
but it
long
was
did you
fun.
last?
The first bull probably about 4. I probably covered about 4 seconds.
That's pretty good for somebody that never did it before.
Yeah, and the second time was like a legit PBR bull. His name was Baxter.
And what happened with Baxter?
And I was ready. I was like in the moment.
And so was he.
He was bucketing the chute, and I was like, "Let's go, boys! I'm ready." And I got stomped, ripped my jeans in 4 places, and he wrecked me. But hey, it was all about the experience. That's all I'm about.
Dude, I mean, it's one of the things that has always attracted me to the Jared Outlaw guy. Like, when we first went tarpon fishing, and we reached out, and I said, well, who am I taking? And I get online, and I'm looking up the guy, I'm like, all right, Jared Outlaw. And I look, and I'm like, okay, he likes hunting, he likes fishing, he's into dip.
Yeah.
My granddaddy was into dip.
Yeah.
When I was growing up, I figured I'd always be into dip. Then I end up down here in this metropolitan area, and then I just fish with everybody that's into dip. Now you got your own dip,
I got my own dip.
and people buy your dip.
Yeah, I started doing dip video. Well, how it actually started was I did hunting and fishing videos, and back in the day when I would do fishing videos, mostly bass fishing, crappie fishing, bluegill, stuff like that, catch and cook type style, right? And everybody, the only thing people cared about back then was, hey man, what you dipping? Hey, what you dipping? What you got in your lip, boy?
And what were they dipping?
Back then it was skull, grizzly, Copenhagen, stuff like that, you know? And so it was always something different. And so I was like, well, I guess if everybody's just interested in what I did, maybe I should just make videos about that. So I started doing reviews, but a different type of review where it was more like a show, you know? Where it's more like a show, I would do different segments and stuff like that. Just, you know, kind of like low budget segments and stuff to keep people interested, right? And so I would do stuff like that, and as it went along, I was like, there's a business for this, you know? There's a business for this, and then that's whenever I started to go out and say, hey, I need to make my own. Because it's the time where I make my own, and because I know enough about it now where I feel like I know more about tobacco and how it's grown and how it, you know, how it ferments or pasteurizes or everything like that than anybody else. So I need to do it because I feel like I know more than anybody else. So that's whenever I got into the tobacco business and did all that.
Do you know who Buddy Guy is?
Who?
Buddy Guy?
Buddy Guy.
Buddy Guy.
Please tell me you know who he is.
I don't think so.
Jared.
I don't know.
No, he's bragging because he's a millennial and he knows who Buddy Guy is.
I am. I'm going to brag about
Buddy
that. Let
Guy.
me have that.
It sounds familiar.
Relax yourself. Busaka.
I'm dropping the
Moussaka from Sicily.
Just because you know something, like everybody that gets on a podcast, like when they know something, like they get all proud and everything.
Right.
You do the same thing.
Yeah, good. It's in the book. Anyway, what the hell was I talking about again?
Buddy Guy.
Buddy Guy.
Buddy Guy totally believes that there's nothing wrong with tobacco.
Right.
Zero.
Really?
Dipping
I didn't
tobacco
even
or
know
smoking, anything.
Either.
Okay.
What he believes, first of all, Buddy Guy is like the most, to me, the most famous blues singer and blues guitar player.
He's the greatest
dude,
guitarist
okay, I know
of
who
all
you're talking
time.
about now.
You know, Buddy?
Okay, I thought you were talking about your buddy, Guy, or something like that.
Not my buddy.
Okay,
Guy. I'm talking
I
about
know
Buddy
who you're
Guy.
talking about now.
Blues guy.
Buddy Guy.
He
Buddy
was
Guy.
thinking you're Italian. You must be this. I know this guy.
I don't know what you're talking about though, as far as tobacco.
So Buddy Guy says, because he grew up in the tobacco fields. He says, there's nothing wrong with tobacco. He goes, that never hurt nobody. He said it's the chemicals that the companies put in the tobacco.
Yeah.
It's actually, you know, made a thing. Now, is there a difference today than there was like when Copenhagen and Skoal, you know, ruled the market? Yeah. Is there a difference?
Oh yeah, I think there is. I mean, listen, there's so many different things now. Cigarettes is a whole different game when you're talking about chemicals and stuff like that. Cigarettes, I mean, you probably got 300 to 400 different types of chemicals that are in
Carcinogens.
Yeah, that are in a cigarette to make it last longer, to make it more addicting, to, you know, that are things that are like nicotine to make it more addicting to you to want you to do it. And the funny thing about cigarettes is they're a lot worse for you than tobacco, but they don't have warning labels on them like tobacco, like smokeless tobacco does. Like dip. The reason for that is because back in the 80s, I remember they made that movie with Russell Crowe. Remember that movie, what was that movie, Lamont? Back in the 80s, or early 90s, Russell Crowe to Big Tobacco. What was that movie? Remember that movie with Russell Crowe, Big Tobacco? They were in court. I forget what it was. Yeah. I don't remember what the movie was called, but that's whenever it really blew up. Not the movie, but you know, back in the day. I think it was like 80.
I'm looking it up right now.
Might have been early 90s.
90s.
But when that blew up, that's whenever the federal government started cracking down on these tobacco companies. But the tobacco companies were making so much money that they, you know, kind of behind the scenes might have been paying off the federal government. Yeah, something like that. So with smokeless tobacco not being as big of a market as that, you know, it's not selling as much as the cigarette brands and stuff like that. So now, with me being in the tobacco business and me seeing that, it's a whole area of just what I don't want to be into. It's a bunch of lawyers and all this crap that I'm just like, I don't want to, I don't want to deal with all that crap, right?
A lot of crap.
Yeah. So what I'm doing now is kind of bringing in a new type of tobacco, where it's tobacco free.
Okay.
It tastes good. It's actually, you got a lot of different companies out there and stuff like that. You just changed.
Dude, I didn't change it. What's up, bro?
What's going on, man?
Man,
How
I'm
you
all
doing?
right. I'm the Bursa man.
You what?
I'm the Bursa man.
The Bursa man.
Yeah, I'm the Bursa man.
The Bursa man.
Did you realize you always got to keep a big guy around you?
That's true.
That's
right.
my big guy.
That's your big guy.
I'm the guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good deal.
Not only that that's the guy that invented barnacle music.
Barnacle what?
Barnacle music.
Barnacle jams, bro.
Really? Oh shit. Oh shit. Well, here we go. Barnacle what?
Barnacle music.
Barnacle music. Is this some type of like pirate music?
It's the music that grows on you, bro. It's fishing jams. It's like
Dude.
folk music.
I like that metaphor.
So between having original music, and then you always got to have a big guy around you.
Right.
I got the Bursa man.
That's what I'm here for.
Man.
Yeah.
I like
I'm
it.
the muscle. I'm the,
So what's the what kind of stuff do you do?
What kind of stuff do I do?
Yeah.
I do all kinds of stuff, bro.
I want to hear it.
In the original YouTube videos,
Yeah.
we would go to his house because he was single and everything, and we would just totally cut up and crack on people and catch big fish and put hookers in people's faces.
Right.
And then I could sell out like a son of a bitch because
Right.
I had Bursa man behind me.
Right.
When you got somebody like the Bursa man that's behind you, you can act any way you want.
Yeah. Right.
No doubt, no doubt.
Hence the lumber dog, hence Captain Joe.
Yeah, we tore it up pretty good back in the day. I mean, that's like 15 years ago now. So that's been a long time.
Wow.
But yeah, we need original jams. We need the music, so that's
Yeah.
why I came up with a soundtrack
Right.
for our shows, and that took off pretty good. And yeah, no, we did. We had a lot of fun back in the day, and Jeff's he's taken it to another level.
That's cool. That's cool.
It's funny because today we got Busaka, who's like the millennial.
Yeah, right.
Bursa, he's like my vintage, but Bursa, he was around when we were in our YouTube infancy,
Yeah.
and we never really thought that a million people would ever see us.
Right, right.
So we would just get together and we would go fishing, and then we'd drink a bunch of beers, and then we'd do whatever else we were doing,
Right.
Right.
and then we'd cut up and get online
Yeah.
and do YouTube videos.
Right.
And that was it. And then, we made up putting a lumper in somebody's face, and then we were picking on freshwater rob, and,
Right.
all this stuff. And when you got a guy that's 250, 6'3", and he's looking over your shoulder all the time, your videos is
Whoa, look at
Shit.
your
Big
videos
going
and
down,
stuff are
boy.
way different.
Live on the
We should have never
podcast.
slammed that one before we started the video. Sugar.
No, it used to take us like 3 hours to upload a video.
Yeah. Oh,
And
yeah,
then
I
you had
remember
to do it
that.
again. You're like, okay, it didn't work.
Do you remember when YouTube videos could only be 10 minutes? And you couldn't go over 10 minutes?
And they were square, yeah.
And they were square. They
were
were square.
square.
And you had 5 stars instead of thumbs up. All that.
2 hours to process.
Yep.
Right.
So during
was all over
that
the
time,
place.
I didn't even know what was happening. Like I would just take Lamont out.
didn't either.
I didn't. I'd take Lamont on the boat,
Right.
and he would video.
You put it together.
Then he'd put it together and he'd upload.
Right.
And the next thing I know is guys from around town were like, "Dude, that snook was incredible!" Blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah. And like
You're
I
like,
didn't
what?
even.
You saw that?
I was like, I didn't even know what was happening.
Right. I was the same way. Same way.
And the thing I loved about it best, and one of the things I love about your channel best and your whole YouTube presence, is that it was original.
Right.
You know what I mean? You did what you wanted to do,
Yep.
and people either liked it,
Right.
and if they didn't like it, you didn't give a rat's ass if they
Yeah.
liked it or not.
Yep. Yep.
That's what people liked about it.
Right.
Sure.
Right. Today, it's not like that.
Right.
I mean,
Now it's all the clickbait stuff and trying to get the most views possible and all that kind of stuff, and it takes the originality out of it.
Sure. No,
For
it's,
sure. Yeah.
it's a big corporation now.
Well, like a lot of the guys that want to do the podcast, and they all ask, they all want to know. They're like, well, what's the difference between now and then?
Right.
And I'm like, the difference between then is you could just be yourself.
Yep.
And then they ask, well, how do I get a great fishing YouTube channel? And I've always told them the truth. If you want a great fishing YouTube channel, go catch sharks,
Yep.
Right.
go catch rays, go catch Goliath groupers.
Yep.
But if you want to catch a 100-pound tarpon or a marlin or something that's really fucking cool,
Yep.
Right.
you're not going to be a YouTube star.
Right.
You might be a fishing star. There'll be a whole bunch of guys that are into fishing that love you.
Yeah.
But you're not going to be a YouTube star. If you want to be a YouTube star, catch a shark,
Right.
right? See a manatee,
Yep.
film a turtle.
Yep. That's the funniest thing.
But a 30-pound snook, that
Yep.
doesn't relate.
No, they click right over that,
There's not a
right?
million guys that I relate to. But I've learned over the years that I'd much rather have 100 people that feel me,
Right.
that know me, that know what I do every day, than a million people that have no fucking clue.
Yep.
Right.
Exactly.
You feel me?
Yeah.
For sure.
Yep.
And I think the podcast is powerful that way.
Right.
I mean, think about it. Who the hell is
Well,
willing to sit down and listen to us talk about stuff for an hour?
Dude,
Yep.
when something's audio, you get a different feel for it than when you're listening to it and watching it at the same time.
Yeah, and
When
you
you're
got-
just
you're-
listening to it, it's a whole other
Right, and you're
feel.
dealing with people that have attention spans like that.
It's
And
gotta
so
be
that's why
90
it's always
seconds.
like, oh my gosh, I got a shark on, or I got a glass grouper that snapped my rod, or I got, whatever. But they don't want to see the time and the effort that goes into catching a trophy snook or a tarpon or something like that,
I gotta tell you, I'm kind of envious of the Jared Outlaw channel.
Well, I think my recipe, I guess you would say, would kind of doing the best of both worlds.
Right.
When it comes to sports and doing hunting and fishing and stuff like that, those aren't my biggest videos.
Right.
Those aren't my biggest videos, and that's just the truth of it. Those
Right.
aren't the biggest ones that do well. And it's funny because the biggest ones that do well are the ones where a Goliath grouper snapped my rod. Or I got a bonita on and a shark got it off and it slapped me in the face or something like that,
Well, let me tell you why I'm envious. I've been taking people tarpon fishing every day for the last 10 years. And then you go out there and shoot a turkey. And then I take another guy tarpon fishing, and then you go out there and shoot a hog.
Yeah,
And then I take another guy tarpon fishing, and then you go ride a bull.
right,
And then I take another guy tarpon fishing, and then you're in the Keys doing permit and tarpon.
right.
And I'm thinking to myself, all right, so I'm a little envious of Jared Outlaw.
He's getting out there.
Yeah.
But he's doing real things.
You're Alaska, right? Alaska catching.
Yep. Yeah, I was a commercial fisherman up in Alaska for
That's
a little
cool.
bit too. Yep.
Right. No,
I think
getting out
it's
there.
I think it's more of just me like motivated to do a lot of things and experience all those things along the way.
Let's talk about the commercial fishing in Alaska
Yeah.
compared to Busaka. All
Busaka.
right, so you did commercial fishing in Alaska, and you were what they call a greenhorn when you did it.
I was, yep. Not afraid to admit it. Didn't make nothing.
Dude, somebody's got to be the greenhorn.
Yep, that's right. I was it for the first year, and then so I went up to Kenai, Alaska the first year. I was living down here in Florida, and I was trying to get a job in a stone crab boat.
Right.
And found out that there was no money in stone crab, and every captain that I was trying to get on was hooked on heroin or something like that. So I was like, well, I think I might go to Alaska.
Right.
So I went to Alaska, got a job, lucky enough to get a job up there in the Cook Inlet, which is right below the tail of Alaska,
Okay.
where all the illusions are. Went up there, salmon fish for 4 months, and red salmon, king salmon, silver salmon, pink salmon, all that.
Right.
And fished for 3.5, 4 months. Made nothing.
Made no money.
Made no money, but the way they ran their thing was kind of like this is your entryway into adulthood kind of deal. Like
Sure.
This is how you become a man type deal. It's super hard. You don't sleep at all.
Right.
It's 4 months. You're in a bunk the whole time. You're on a boat. It's just you don't see anybody. You don't have a phone, internet, nothing.
Like working
So
on
I
an
did
oil
that.
rig or something.
Yep, exactly. And you smell like fish the whole time. So then the next year I went up there and I was known that first year
Right.
that everybody was, okay, he shuts his mouth and he just goes
goes
hard.
to work.
Right, yeah. He doesn't talk about what he did and all this kind of stuff. So then I got a job on a bigger boat, on a gillnet boat in the Bering Sea. And I was going to work my way up there to go crab fishing and run a boat or something like that, right? So second year I went up there, I worked on a gill net. He didn't hire anybody else except me because he was low on money. He had arthritis. This is my captain. He had arthritis. He couldn't pick
You ended
fish.
up doing everything.
I ended up doing the whole thing, running the hydros, running the boat, everything like that. And then he wanted to train me basically to run the boat. He was like, okay, you're good. You can run the boat, all this kind of stuff. And at that point, I was just like, you know what, I'm done with this thing. And that's the turning point of whenever I said, okay, I'm going to make YouTube like a legit business. Because, when I first started YouTube, you couldn't even make money doing the thing.
Right. So you busted your ass, and then you were like, dude, I can make money doing YouTube.
Yeah.
And then you went and you applied yourself.
That's whenever, and he wanted me to come back the next season and run the boat.
I'm so glad you're here because so many, especially young people in my audience, think that they're going to make $100,000 or $1 million doing YouTube. Right. And I hate to discourage them, but I would like them to look at your journey because it didn't come easy. You're into this thing for over a decade.
12 years about it.
12 years.
Over a decade. And the persistence and the energy and the time. And at this point, you should be making that kind of money.
Right.
But there's a lot of kids out there that think it's easy.
Right.
They think they're going to be a YouTube star.
Right.
My kid went to Playlist Live this year.
Yeah, in Orlando.
You know about
yeah,
that?
I went one time.
Did you go? What happened when you went?
Oh man, it was 16-year-old girls all over the place screaming for everybody.
Well, Lamont went.
Did he?
Lamont went to Playlist Live, and
Oh
he's
my
like,
goodness.
yeah, he goes and he's like, I'm going to go to Playlist Live. He's like, I'm going to rub elbows and mix and mingle with the other YouTubers.
Right.
And he's like, he thought he was going to get arrested because all the chicks and the kids were like 14.
Right.
Right.
And he wanted to like mix and mingle.
It's all the young kids there.
Right. So Victoria, my kid, she turned 13 this year, and she wanted to go to Playlist Live. That was her thing for her birthday.
Okay.
So mom, being a great mom, so she brings her to Playlist Live, and she goes down there and she meets all her YouTube friends and gets pictures with them and spends 2 days at the hotel with them.
Yeah.
And she comes home and she can't get it out of her mouth fast enough.
Right.
So I say, hold on, kid. And I bring her out to the garage and put a microphone in front of her, and she does a Playlist Live podcast. I'm fishing with the guy the other night, and he refers to Victoria's Playlist Live
way.
podcast.
No way.
She taught
Him.
him.
Wow.
The guy had no clue Playlist Live was
Right.
like that. Same way you did, same way. But the 13-year-old
It's dialed
gets
in.
on the podcast
Right.
that actually knows something, regurgitates all of it, and then the guy that's fishing with me wants to talk to me about Playlist Live.
Wow.
Yeah, it floored me. Totally
That's
floored
insane.
me.
That's insane.
But I mean, like, the way I look at it is like the Playlist Live and all that. All right, so there's some kids that appeal to, I don't know, girls' makeup, whatever, and there's millions of viewers and everything.
Right.
But I think the vast majority of those kids, it's like when I was young, you got a paper route.
Yep.
And
Right.
if you were a mover and a shaker, you delivered papers.
Yeah, you got to pay your dues.
Right, so you had 200 a week, so then you could sell out at the team
Right.
clubs and at the skate rink and all that.
Yeah.
Today, those kids are making $2,000 a month doing their YouTube stuff.
Yep.
And I think it's great.
Yeah.
But I hate for kids to look at YouTubers
And think that
and
that's
think that
just
it's
like,
an easy road.
Yep. It's overnight.
Right, because it's not.
It's not. It's a game. It's honestly a game, and it's got to be obsessive with it, just like anything else.
Nothing in life
It's easy.
that's good is easy.
Yep.
And you're proof of it.
Yeah.
And other people aren't public. Other people don't watch them.
Yep.
So I think it's important
Right.
that the kids realize that YouTube, it's not a fucking get rich quick.
Yep.
It's not. If you want to be a YouTuber, you have to put in the time. You have to put in the energy.
You got to sacrifice a lot.
Right.
Yep.
Sacrifice is always.
Time. It's like you're always in front of a computer. You're always doing something. Yep. You're always looking at the latest trends and what you got to do and all that type of stuff.
Where's Pusaka?
Osaka. I got to take a leak.
Go ahead.
I got to take.
Get on it,
I'll
bro.
bullshit with Bursa for one.
You want to wear these?
So anyway, I hope you guys are enjoying the podcast. Jared's been gracious enough to spend a little time with us here, and I know the recording probably isn't like the best because we got a lot of background noise and everything. But if you want a live event, you want to hang out with the Outlaw, then you're gonna have to put up with a little bit of that. But anyway, Bruce, what do you think so far?
It's a good crowd out tonight. I mean, hope everybody can hear us back home.
They can hear us. They can hear everybody else too.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. You out here, pal? Good to see you. Thanks for coming. Appreciate it. Oh, we had a good crowd in here tonight. I don't know how many people we could actually get at one of these live events and still do a podcast.
No, I mean, this is it's the first time we've done this, right? I mean, it's kind of a trial and error on this part. It's kind of loud.
It's a little
I don't know how it's going to come across the other side, but
yeah, it's gonna be fine.
here it's pretty fun. I mean, everybody's got to enjoy themselves.
What'd you think about Jared, real guy?
I like him. He's a real guy. Yeah.
hard, man.
He's put his time in, and he's busted ass, and he's worked his way up.
It's hard not to like Jared.
Yeah, that was a good kid.
So many of these YouTube guys, they want to collaborate and they want to, do stuff.
Right.
And most of the time, I just can't do it.
Right.
But Jared, being original,
Right.
doing his own thing,
Sure.
I'm like, why not?
No, he gets out there. He does a lot of stuff. Like you said, I like his style.
like
It's
his
original.
style?
Yeah. Right.
Do you think he would have been all right, like in the '80s when we went to high school and stuff? Do you think he would have fit in?
I mean, I think he'll,
He'd have got by.
he'll get by. Over straight hand, he'd have survived.
So when Jared gets back, I'm going to wrap the podcast up.
Okay.
We'll see how the live event went. You're going to do some jams?
I might stick around. What time is it?
Oh, it's only like 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock? Yeah, probably do a couple jams. What about Wednesday? You got a little watch party or something?
Yeah, Wednesday night, George Gods has a new show called Unfathomed.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So George came down in January. We did a recording, and actually came out on YouTube today because it came out on the Sportsman channel like 2 weeks ago. But
Okay.
most people don't get the Sportsman channel.
Yeah, I don't get it.
And a lot of people in the network, they're YouTubers, they're online, they're on social media.
Sure.
But anyway, George released the show today, so you can see it on YouTube finally.
Okay.
And I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be a big deal.
Well, it's got a lot of clips from the old YouTube videos, right?
I'd say half of the TV show is old YouTube clips from the Mulligan channel.
It's come full circle now, isn't it? I mean, those TV guys want a little piece of the YouTube one.
Yeah.
So, that's cool.
Dude, there's more happening on YouTube.
Yeah, TV's on the way up. I mean, it's kind of a dying thing. I mean, it's dying as YouTube grows and the internet type stuff grows. In my opinion, right? I don't watch TV.
Dude,
Who watches TV?
Nobody watches TV. Okay. I need a brewski though. Line them up.
What are we lining up?
You get free brewskis.
I want to do a round of RTP here.
Okay.
The Run That Dog beer that they're
yeah.
serving tonight.
Right.
Everybody's going to get one here. We're going to do a final round. and
Okay.
then We're going to wrap it up with Jared.
Very cool.
And then we'll be done with the podcast. And
All right, let's get Jared over here and wrap it up now. So we're here shaking hands, get some babies.
but they had some people show up.
That's been a good time tonight. I
I
like
think we
this
could have put
place.
100 in here if we wanted to, but then we wouldn't
Yeah,
hear anything.
you wouldn't hear anything over here.
So,
Jared, get here, wrap it up.
Back on, back on.
yeah. So anyway,
Dude,
Jared,
yes.
this is my first live event. At least my first live podcast event.
This was cool, man. Listen, I just had to go. I got to take a pee break because all this good Run That Dog beer running through my system.
Can you believe that a local brewery, has a Run That Dog beer?
Dude, it's good too. Listen, y'all need to get yourself to Lauderdale and get you that Run That Dog beer. It's good, I'm telling you. But I was just out here. I had to go take a pee break.
Right.
And this kid came all the way with his mom
Right.
from Knoxville, Tennessee. 14 hours drove down. And his mom was so tired. She's like, let me get a picture with you guys. We've been listening, but I'm so tired. I want to get back to the beach. And they came all the way 14 hours from Knoxville, Tennessee, just for this, baby.
Is that insane?
That's crazy.
You know,
Crazy.
I got to tell you, guys like you, guys like me, we put it out on the line, and you go out there and you do YouTube and social media, and you try to entertain people, and when a guy does that, it floors me every time.
Yeah.
Like when people flew in to go to LumberCon,
Yeah.
I couldn't believe that.
Right.
It was hard for me to believe that
Right.
they would actually fly in.
Yeah.
And then now, after doing it all this time, is you realize that, you can touch people,
Yeah. For sure.
and it's different.
Especially when you're like someone who like me, who I do a lot of comedy and stuff like that, to
We're
where.
goofing around.
Cheers.
Yeah, cheers.
When you're doing a lot of things where you're just goofing, and you're doing a lot of things that are just trying to make people laugh, and you don't think that you are touching anybody's lives or anything like that. And when they come up to you when you do meet and greets or live events like this, it's inspiring, and it makes you want to keep doing it more and more and more. And that's what keeps me, like we were talking about earlier, traveling all over. And it's not even just like, when I travel to the Keys and go tarpon fishing or whatever, I travel to go to, I'm going to Canada next week to go bear hunt. It's to meet those people that are around there and all that stuff, as well. So it's cool. It's cool seeing everybody, especially come out for something like this. It's awesome.
Yeah, I thought this was cool, and I'm glad you participated, and I'm glad you reached out to me that you were down here in South Florida and
sure.
took advantage of it.
Yep. Every time I'm in South Florida, I gotta holler at Captain Jeff.
Dude, I wish it wasn't Memorial Day weekend.
Oh God, it's gonna be insane here.
Well,
Tomorrow, I was thinking about, I didn't even think about it, but I was like, oh yeah, maybe we could do the podcast. We'll go out Sunday, and I was like, then I was like, oh, it's Memorial Day. We're not going out
Well,
Sunday.
you know what Lamont thought about doing? He's
What?
like, well, let's take them out, and then we'll have like the world's worst experience, and we'll
Yep.
get run over by the water taxis and the sandbar people, the TPF
Yep.
people,
Right.
and then we'll just film that.
The people that bought boats and don't even know what they're doing,
Right?
all that.
The
Yep.
Boogans out there.
Yep. The new Mako. They're like, oh yeah, I got the new Mako. We're gonna go out, and just run everybody with this line, not even know what we're doing. Yeah.
Well, two things before we wrap up. We're going to be on the show I just did with George Goggs. Just got released today on YouTube, which
Okay.
I'm pretty fired up about.
Yep.
And these podcasts are going to be on Waypoint TV,
Okay.
which is like, I don't know what the hell it is actually, but it's supposed to be cool.
Yeah.
So this one will probably be the first one that'll be uploaded on Waypoint TV.
Right.
So me and the Outlaw will be on there.
Yeah, boy.
And then
Might be the biggest thing I ever been on.
hey, it's Waypoint TV, right? We'll
Sure.
take it.
Sure.
Hey, when we first went on YouTube, we had no clue
Yep.
what it was, but we were on there.
That's true. That's
So
true.
we're going to be on Waypoint, and
Do you remember when you used to be embarrassed that you say you were a YouTuber? Be like, what do you do? Oh, I do YouTube. And they're
Dude,
just like, YouTube what?
I'm 50 years old. When I'm hanging out with my friends, and they're like, oh, they ask my wife, well, what does your husband do? Well, he's a fisherman.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the YouTuber thing doesn't go over
No,
real well at the
no.
parties.
That's what I say. When people ask what I do, I go, oh, I just travel around and I edit, and I film, stuff like that. I don't ever get into the internet thing.
I'm in the film industry.
Yeah, I'm in the film industry. Yep. We're doing pretty good for ourselves. Oh, you got a TV show? No, but we're doing all right.
See, I can handle it just fine because everybody thinks I'm a nut anyway. But I feel bad for the wife. She's trying to explain it at like dinner parties and stuff. What the hell we're doing?
When I started dating her, it was the same way. I was like, please, just don't say I'm a YouTuber or something like that.
Jared, congratulations on your 1 million subscribers. That's
Thank you.
phenomenal.
Thank
and
you.
happy birthday.
Thank you.
And thanks
Appreciate
for coming
it.
down and joining the Real Guy Podcast.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank y'all.
Run that dog.
Love you guys. Run that dog.